And we're back. We're the Dudes of Horror. I'm Toots.
Damien.
Wormboy, what's up, guys?
Alright, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Halloween movie. Starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Nick Castle. I think one other person that's the Shape. And Judy Greer. So, we're going to get into spoilers in a little while. But right now, let's just say what were our first thoughts of it, like as soon as it ended, like what do we think of it?
I thought it was a good movie. Not bad, but not really great either. It was good, you know. Had its good moments. I did see a lot of potential things they could have used to make it better.
Mhm.
But I mean, overall, like, it was good. I mean, I enjoyed the killing, the different types of shots they were using.
Yeah.
Some of the comedy was good, but I think they overdid it.
I think they overdid it in a
some
couple
parts.
Yeah.
But like what's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis's character. She's
Laurie
like
Strode.
awesome. She, you know, she was very. She did her role real well. You know, after 40 years, she's doing all these things, and she's preparing for him, and you know, to kind of set him up for a trap. And you know, I like that. Like, she's still kind of that same. It brought back nostalgia for me, you know, from the original one.
Yeah, what you think of it, Damien?
Well, I'm like, ashes.
Is that cat?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, the whole thing with this new 2018 version of Halloween is that they're just like wiping the slate clean. Like, none of the other sequels exist. Like, this is a direct sequel to the John Carpenter's original Halloween, as if none of the other sequels ever existed. So, I mean, you know what I honestly thought, like, when I saw the trailers, I'm like, Laurie Strode is like Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Ash is joining us
Yeah.
He's the fourth dude of horror.
because we can't keep him off the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked her character. I mean, it was like a badass, you know. She has all these guns. I like that little thing she has when she goes under.
Because it's like she has PTSD basically from the events in the first movie.
Yeah.
So she's basically been training and preparing for like the last 40 years
Mm-hmm.
because she knows that Michael's still alive. Like, he's in captivity, but she knows that he's still alive, and she just has that feeling like she knows that he's gonna escape one day.
Yeah.
So she's preparing to take him out.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked how they took, you know, what really is a slasher movie that's already been established, and they took it seriously, at least more serious compared to, you know, like the other sequels, hence being just a direct sequel to the original. And I liked how they didn't have the tropes, like the drugs, the sex, or whatever. Like, they didn't, like, that didn't make the movie. You know, it was actually the characters and the action and the and the gore and the story actually made the movie. And like I said, it was pretty good. And there were a couple of cliched. There were a few cliched moments. There were a few. There were a couple of dumb moments. You know, and then and
there were
yeah,
several.
yeah, and
There was one in particular that we all agreed on that
Which
we'll get
one?
to later when we get into the spoiler territory.
yeah, and so there were a couple of dumb moments, and I thought the humor worked, and then they kind of overdid it in a couple parts, and then it was like, okay, now it's just
Yeah, and then it was just throughout the whole movie.
no, it wasn't
You know.
really throughout the whole movie. It was just that
Yeah, it was. Like, there was there was comedy, and then there was like the horror part, and then there was comedy, and then I was just like,
Well,
it kind of took away from the feeling of the movie.
it's really important to note that one of the screenplay's writers was Danny McBride,
Oh yeah,
and you could really see his influence in the screenplay with the comedy.
Now,
Like,
I will say this. I will say this, that I did like the comedy they had, but I just thought it wasn't really, at least some of it wasn't appropriate.
yeah. Some
In
of
terms-
it wasn't. It just didn't go with the flow.
It's like being at a wedding or a funeral and somebody says a really dirty joke, and yeah, it's funny, but it just wasn't appropriate. You know, it's kind of like that, where you're like, ah, it was funny, but you know, I could kind of forgive it.
Like, dude, not here.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I just
not-
think like what we were saying when we were driving home, War Boy, like the comedy was funny, but there were some times that it was like a tonal inconsistency.
yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, it was
That's
like,
what it felt like.
They'd go from like straight horror to like all of a sudden, the typical Danny McBride like comedy, and then back to horror. Like it wasn't meshed really well
It-
with the horror, like, and as other horror movies have done in the past. So not that the comedy wasn't funny, it wasn't blended as well with the horror aspects as it
Yeah.
could.
It
yeah,
was-
I agree.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't necessarily like comic relief, even though that's what it was supposed to be. It wasn't like there was a very tense moment and then they made a joke just to kind of ease the atmosphere. It was more that, okay, something horrific happened and then it's a different scene and then it's just funny.
Mhm.
And then the next scene is just horror. You know, so it was kind of like that where.
It's like, is it a horror movie or is it like, what is it? You know,
And it's not a.
it's supposed to be a horror movie. You know,
Yeah, yeah, and it's not like a comedy horror,
Like, I
Shaun
think
of the
they-
Dead,
they-
where it's
well, yeah, it's different.
incorporated from the beginning.
By the way, check out our review on that. We have one.
Yeah,
But no, it's true, like Damien, what you were saying about
Mhm.
the comedy. I did like it as well, but it was just they put it in the wrong places. Like the part where, well, I'm gonna go into spoilers now.
no, I thought the humor, like I said, it was funny, and I just thought they overdid it. Like, and then okay, let's just go into spoilers.
Yeah, like the part where the cops are talking about the stupid sandwich or whatever it is. You
Mhm.
know, I was like, was that really needed there? Like, they could have just, like you told me,
Yeah.
straight to the
Oh, where
shot.
they're like joking about their lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, there were such minor characters, and they didn't like, other than the fact that they were just gonna get killed anyway, and you know, they weren't developed beforehand, so it really wasn't necessary to kind of have that in
It wasn't
in there.
needed. It was just like, okay.
They could have.
It was funny, but it was just like, what for?
Yeah, they could have just started it where you see, what's his name, Hawkins or
Yeah,
Yeah.
the,
yeah,
the sheriff.
Will Patton's character, like, like his vehicle just stopped, and then they're just like, oh, I think that's Hawkins' car, like, Hawkins, do you read me? They
Right.
could have just started right there,
Yeah.
as
I
opposed
agree.
to just starting with the whole thing, Now the one scene I was thinking of is when the babysitter friend, the one Allison's friend,
Oh
the one that was dating like the stoner guy.
yeah.
That where she's taking care of the kid, and the kid is funny. The kid is cracking jokes, and like I said, I like the banter. Ah, that's Ash.
Yeah, just
I like-
keep it.
yeah.
It's fine, it's fine.
I like the good old Ash.
You like the banter?
I like the banter before, like Michael Myers was discovered. Like in the bedroom. Like I like that whole little rapport they had.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I thought that was good there. It wasn't until she goes up and she gets killed and the kid's like, oh shit, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, now it's kind of, it's
Like it wasn't needed there.
yeah,
Like that wasn't appropriate for the kid to be kind of making a joke out of it because she was dead. You know,
yeah,
that's not how appropriate response most of the time. I
Yeah,
don't know.
like-
I thought they could have done better there.
I think if they would have played it straight, where he was just screaming and then just runs out,
That would have been cool.
yeah, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that he stops and what does he say? Like, motherfucker, don't go up there, or like,
Yeah.
you know, dude, don't go up there, you know, and like I said, it was like a an appropriate joke that was really funny, but not in an appropriate time. Yeah, that's how I saw it. That's how I still see it.
Well, I just thought the best like element of the movie was like the whole dynamic between Jamie Lee Curtis, between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and it was and it was just like they didn't focus on that enough. Like,
Yeah.
it would cut to like teen drama.
Mhm.
It was kind of like
I did like that the figure. I mean
The shape.
the shape of Michael Myers was like big and like
Mhm.
I like that the way they did that compared. I was comparing it to what was that movie? Is it H2O or the one where it looks kind of weird, like kind of skinny from the face? Was it H2O or one of the other ones where I was just like, ugh, like what is that?
Or like I can't remember which Michael Myers. I think it was like part 4 or part 5 where he just looks like he has no neck.
Yeah, that one.
I think
it's
just like
the 4 and 5 one.
Yeah, but this one I like that about him. Like he doesn't talk at all. He's just there to kill, and you still have the mystique. Like why does he kill? Like is he really evil or? Is
you see snippets of his face.
Yeah.
But you don't see his
the full
like,
face.
Yeah.
And it was really cool that it was actually Nick Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh,
Yeah, it was another guy too, but like Nick
Yeah.
Castle was
but it wasn't when they showed his face, wasn't it Nick Castle or was?
I think so.
And I liked how and see that kind of leads to like the biggest spoiler that everybody was kind of like what the like the new doctor that was assigned to Michael after Dr. Loomis passed away
Mm-hmm.
was so like what was it? He kind of became obsessed with Michael to the point where he actually wanted to. He has like a monologue about it.
I think it was like for me the way I saw it, like it was an obsession, and it was also for research for some reason.
Well,
That's how I saw it. Like, I want to learn more.
He has a monologue with Hawkins when he's writing with him where he tells him that he wonders what Michael's thinking when he kills, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out later, like in this really, I don't know, like it was a really curious choice in the writing. Like you find out that like he actually has developed like a desire to actually kill. And this is like a psychiatrist, like this is like a therapist guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he actually cheap shots the Hawkins character and stabs him,
Yeah.
and then actually comes up like it was really bad when he stands up
And he's wearing the mask.
and he's wearing the
That
mask.
was cheap.
Okay.
I thought that was funny
to
because he
kind-
was like fat and he didn't
Yeah, to
go
say-
with it.
Yeah, to basically the setup is that they're trying, they save Allison, who's the daughter of, I can't remember, Judy Greer plays the daughter of Laurie Strode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember her name in the movie. I just remember Allison was the daughter of Judy
Yeah.
Greer. And, like, they save her, Hawkins, who's played by Will Patton, he's the sheriff, and the doctor. And so they're in Hawkins' car, and they save Allison, and there's like, okay, keep your eyes open for Michael, and they spot him, and they hit him and Hawkins hits him with a car, and then, and that's where Will's trying to make sure, like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure he's dead, and the doctor's obsessed, like, no, don't kill him, and he takes out a little blade hidden in his pen, and he kills Will Patton's character, and then, so it's like this drastic heel turn, and then you see Allison's point of view, like, where's the doctor? What happened? And then he stands up wearing the mask.
Like in the headlights.
Yeah,
Like
in the headlights.
like if he's trying to see what it feels like.
But I mean, the whole twist was that the doctor had become so, like,
Meshed.
obsessed with, like, getting into Michael's head that he
Mhm.
actually wanted to kill to see what it felt like.
Mhm.
Something like that.
Because
I
he
don't-
even says like, "Oh, that's what it feels like."
Yeah.
Like,
And I didn't.
It would have been cool, like you said, like for him not to put on the mask, or maybe he did, where Michael Myers gets back up and like kind of just takes the mask back and then kills him.
Yeah, because I thought, first of all, I didn't think he should have put on the mask.
No.
But since he did, I think it would have been, because ultimately Michael kills him. He like the doctor's driving the police car, the sheriff's car, and then Michael Myers pretty much like
Breaks the
beats,
barrier.
breaks the chair, like breaks the front seat, and is just basically beating the shit out of the doctor that way, until the doctor like manages to get out before he squashes his head, which is cool. With his foot, but I think it would have been better since he put on the mask. Like he had the mask on and he was talking to Allison.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just wait until he wakes up, and just stays that way, and then Michael kills him from the back seat, and then and once he's done killing him, it's like that's my mask,
Yeah, and that's
like give him my mask back.
But then that kind of puts her in a tough spot where she can't escape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think the mask should have been on. But I mean, that wasn't the worst part of the movie.
At least they didn't play it where they actually killed Michael early and it was the doctor after that.
Oh,
That would have been.
I was like,
That would've
hopefully
been
not.
dumb.
But I mean,
that
Hopefully
would
not.
have been.
It seemed like they had an idea, like with the writing, like let's make the doctor so like crazily obsessed with Michael Myers that he actually wants to kill to see what it feels like to
Mhm.
get that rush to get into Michael's head. But
Because
it
he's
was-
never
but it was-
talked.
But it was really poorly executed. Like
Yeah.
maybe that could have been a good idea, but it didn't. I don't know. It was bad. It just turned out bad. Like mask or not, it was a bad idea.
I
the
think-
writing.
Yeah.
I think they could have done a better job in terms of, because you kind of see it where he starts. You can kind of see his obsession kind of building, but I think it would have been better if they kind of elaborated on that a little bit more.
Like why?
So you
what led
kinda-
up to that?
So so you kind of see him kind of like approach the edge closer and
See,
closer
and
to find.
it might have worked that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it was executed badly.
And another part I did like about the movie was the killings.
Mm-hmm.
They were brutal. They were like, oh shit. I was like, damn, that's brutal.
And the funny thing is that some of the killings were off screen, but you see the end result.
Yeah, like with the kid that tattooed
Oh,
10/31/18.
yeah.
That one was like he just stuck the knife and hung him from the wall.
With the kid facing the wall this time, because
Yeah.
that was sort of like that was kind of
Was it-
obvious nod to part one,
Part
Yeah.
the original.
Mm-hmm.
Michael still loves to pin kids up to the wall.
Yeah.
And
But
the one where the knife goes through the neck and you can see the knife.
Mhm.
That one was like,
Oh,
oh,
that was PJ Souls cameo.
yeah.
That was my favorite kill.
yeah, mine too.
Yeah. But yeah, and the thing is, when Michael Myers escapes, like he's being transported from was it Smith's Grove,
To
Yeah.
another one.
that institution to another one, and at some point Michael escapes because something happens where he kind of overtakes the guards and stuff, and then
Well, that's what you
Well,
think.
yeah, that's like it's never explained in terms
Like,
of how
was
he
it the
got out.
doctor that was involved? Because
I-
he wasn't dead at all.
Yeah, that's
That was like, it makes no sense. How come everybody else is dead in the bus and not him?
or at least wounded,
Yeah.
but
Well,
he's the
see,
only one that's okay.
He's not even shot or wounded or anything.
That was an opportunity to make that doctor's obsession more interesting if they would have revealed later
Yeah.
that the doctor sabotaged the bus and he was the one that freed Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because he expressed that he didn't want Michael transferred to that other, it seemed like he was actually going to more like a prison type setting.
Because he was with Michael for 40 years?
No, because Loomis was.
How long was he with Michael?
I think he
I'm
took
not sure.
over. He
10
took
years
over after
maybe?
Loomis died.
But
And
he was more like, he had the mentality more like Michael is much more useful as a specimen for us to study rather than for
Yeah.
him to just be locked away So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like they're gonna reveal that the doctor like crashed the bus and sabotaged it and allowed Michael to escape.
Yeah, cause
Like, but they didn't go that route.
No, they didn't.
yeah, well, Debbie mentioned is like, well, you know, like what if, you know, Laurie Strode would have, because she was there waiting. So what if she was the one that caused, you know, him to
Yeah.
escape? But then I was like, well,
Because she knew the transfer was happening.
yeah,
With the time
Yeah.
and everything.
So yeah,
But the
that,
thing-
yeah, that too. Like,
no, but the thing
That would
is,
have been cool.
nah, I don't. Personally, I wouldn't think so because I don't think she would have wanted to cause it. Because the thing is, if she would have caused it, and the people were dead, it would have been on her. Like she would have had to have taken responsibility for that.
Yeah.
So I think she was just kind of waiting for it to happen. That she wasn't involved with.
Hmm.
So Debbie mentioned that. I was like, I don't know, because then Lori would have been like those people that died would have been her fault partially. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then she wouldn't be like completely the hero.
Yeah,
anymore.
Yeah.
her character would just be like, I don't trust her. Like, I don't know who she is anymore.
Yeah.
But I mean, the movie was good. The atmosphere sometimes didn't feel like a horror movie. It felt more just like, you know,
Yeah. It was.
they were
was
trying
cool.
too hard with some of the jokes, but even though they were funny, but I just wish it was more like dark. Like it was dark, but like just more dark.
Yeah, I think. No, I didn't think they. I didn't think they. Well, they kind of tried too hard a little to be funny.
He's all
Ash.
Say hi, say hi to Ash.
Yeah.
Say hi to Ash. Because he's taking over the review.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, he is.
But I don't know. I didn't think they were trying too hard because the laughs were coming. It wasn't like they tried too hard to be funny. It just, like I said, it was they overdid it in terms of it kind of overstayed its welcome. And like I said, there were a few dumb moments, and I remember there's that one scene where they're hiding. This was in Laurie Strode's house, which is basically like a fortress. And at one point, she shoots the boards like from the cellar, from the safe room.
Hmm.
And I remember some people in the theater were like, that was dumb. You know?
That was me.
Yeah, and just like people around me were saying that. And for a split second, I thought that, and I was like, well, wait a minute. She wants him like to approach her, like she's luring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later, once they manage to get Michael Myers into the basement, it's not really a twist per se. It's just, you know, it's not really a twist. It's just the fact that like once they get him down there, it turns out that safe room is actually a trap for him.
Oh yeah.
You know, so there were, and I was like, you know, and she also has these shutters that barricade rooms, you know, like each of the rooms. And I remember for a second I was like, why didn't she just close all of them and just trap them that way? But once I realized that, oh, that basement is a trap, it's like, oh, okay, like she's making sure, she's basically like, you know, basically taking out all the exits just so she can get him in there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. You know, afterwards I was like, oh, okay.
And I was kind of hoping that both of them would die.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I liked the ending, but it could have, like, I wanted them both to die, because I think for me that would have been a little bit better. But, I mean, you know.
And it's still kind of ambiguous, because you really don't see his body. Like, you see him, like, in the flames, or at least
But then you
about
don't
to
see his
approach
body
him.
afterwards.
Yeah, but you don't actually see him, like.
When they showed the wide shot of the cellar burning, you
Mhm.
didn't see Michael in
He
there.
was no longer there
Yeah.
on the stairs where he was.
That's
Yeah.
why I was
So
like,
he
oh.
either is, well, he is
That's why I
evil and
wanted
he's
to-
probably still going to survive, right?
That's why I wanted to wait up. That's why I waited after the credits to see if there was any
There's
cliffhanger after.
Mhm.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing after the credits.
And it sort of ended the way I predicted though, with like the 3 generations of Strode women like collectively defeating Michael together.
Yeah.
That was one of the predictions I had. And the other one I predicted was that, like we were saying, like Laurie Strode and Michael were both gonna die
Yeah.
killing each other, or she was gonna die trying to kill him.
Yeah, and then the Judy Greer character would be the one that like toughens up, and then
Right.
I like that part where she got me. I admit it, where she's like, "Oh, I can't do this," and it was a lure that got me,
Yeah.
and then boom, gotcha.
That tricked me too,
It got me. I was like, "Damn, she's good."
because she's Judy Greer was actually acting at that
Yeah.
moment, but she's playing a character in a movie who's acting. So she's kind of like acting like the damsel to draw Michael to the door, like kind of pleading to her mom, like come down here, I can't do it. But she's pointing a gun, she's pointing a rifle up to the stairs. So as soon as Michael gets into her range, she's just kind of instantly changed, like
Shoots
gotcha.
him.
Yeah.
She delivers the gotcha, and then boom,
yeah,
shot to the head.
the background for that is since like Laurie got traumatized, obviously from the first Halloween, from the first incident, that basically she raised the Judy Greer character till she was 12 years old, and then
You took her away.
yeah, before like
Child
services like took her away.
And that's
But
what I
she-
was talking about before. It's basically an exact parallel of Sarah Connor and John Connor.
Yeah, like just training her like how to use the weapons, how to do this. So for a split second, when Judy Greer was like, "I can't do it like that," I'm like, I hope she's faking. I hope she's faking.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
See
I didn't
that
even think
coming.
about that. I was like, damn it,
I didn't
she's
think she
gonna
was
ruin it.
faking.
Like I was thinking like, because then it would have been dumb if like she had all this training and like she's just wimping out right now. And I understand she's scared, but if she had all this training, like she should be ready at least.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, I hope she's faking. So as soon as she went like, gotcha, like that, I was like, yes! Like they
I didn't see
went
it
through
coming.
it.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
No, I didn't see it per se, but I was hoping it would lead to that. All right, so
So overall, I guess for me, I would give it like a B plus. For me, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was. I would give it a B plus because of the reasons, because of the comedy. They could have used it better. They didn't have to use so much. And I also liked it because the nostalgia factor. How it reminded me of part one, and the themes were pretty cool, some of them. But I mean, that would be my score, a B plus.
I would give it a B, like a solid B. Like I thought there was some, like I said, I thought there were some tonal inconsistencies when the comedy just didn't mesh well with the horror. And well, one thing I did notice was I liked like when Michael first gets back to Haddonfield, I noticed they did a lot of like those tracking shots where they're following Michael, or the camera's in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
and there aren't a lot of cuts. They're kind of like following him like through the turns and stuff. And then I noticed in the second half of the movie, it became a lot more like Rob Zombie's Halloween. It was a lot of like close-ups and rapid cuts and like bad lighting. So the camera work in the first half of the movie was actually better than the second half.
yeah,
So, and then that spin with that doctor, in my opinion, was terrible. Like, it was just terrible. Like, it I don't know why that was in there. Like, I honestly don't know why. So, but I mean, the kills were good. The story, with the exception of the doctor, was good. So, I mean, I give it a B. Like, it was, I had read a lot of reviews that were bad about this movie, and I don't agree with them. I think the movie was a lot better than a lot of the critics were saying, so I'll give it a solid B.
I give it. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck between B and a B plus. It's kind of basically the reasons that you guys have given it, where it's like there were tonal inconsistencies. The whole thing with the doctor was a bit of a mess, and I think at that point in time they should reveal that, you know, it was him that actually sabotaged the bus, you know. Like, I think if they would have shown that clip or that snippet, I don't know if it got edited out, but I think if they would have shown that, I think it would have been like, oh, okay, well, that kind of explains basically his sudden heel turn, you know, or his obsession like finally got to his head. And yeah, there were, like I said, a few cliched moments. There were a couple moments like the doctor thing that was dumb. But I will say this: it was a lot better than most of the sequels that already exist.
Yes, of course.
I'm not including part 3. Part 3 is different, so I'm not including that one. I'm talking just the Michael Myers ones, like Curse and Revenge and.
Yeah, the humor in this movie is way better than Busta Rhymes karate kicking Michael Myers out of window or out of door. I don't know, whatever the hell.
Mhm.
Because Halloween, fuck Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
and I did like,
But you own that movie, right?
Oh yeah.
and I did like a couple of the callbacks that they had there, like you know, with the stoner boyfriend that gets stabbed and he's like, you know, stuck
Hanging
to
in
the
the
wall.
wall.
Yeah, he's hanging on the wall. You know, and
The PJ Souls cameo was awesome.
mhm.
And that was my favorite kill.
And when the first time Laurie and Michael are, well, actually the second time technically, that they're battling upstairs, and then the second battle it takes place upstairs in her home, and then Ash, and then she falls off the balcony, like off the you know, onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the callback to the ending to the first
So
one.
where he was the one that was.
Yeah, where he was the one that actually that happened to him.
And then you look and you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
and like-
she's not there.
Yeah, her body, like she's gone.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
she's evil too, you know.
No, I don't.
We don't know that. We don't know. But no, it was good. I think it was a good movie.
Yeah, so
I would go watch it again.
I
Yeah.
recommend it.
yeah, I recommend it also. Like I said, it's not the greatest, but it was still pretty good. I still enjoyed it, you know, despite its flaws. And like I said, it was a lot better than the majority of the sequels that, you know, the
A
Halloween.
lot better than Teen Wolf, for sure.
Not including part 3. I'm not including part 3.
Yes, they mean that.
Part 3 is its own entity. Alright.
Yeah, I think it's worth the full price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is,
It's a
definitely.
good
Yeah.
movie, especially this time of year.
If you're a fan of just plain like blood, gore, slasher, you know,
You'll love it.
yeah, you'll love it. You know,
But if you're a fan of Halloween and the franchise and how it's.
you may like it.
You probably still like it, but not as much.
You'll probably still like it, but you'll see the flaws in it. You'll pick up on the flaws, or at least you'll you know, they'll kind of ring, you know. Once,
So yeah, Danny McBride, stick to comedy, bro. Stick to comedy.
No, I mean,
I don't know. I'm just saying shit.
But yeah, that's our review of
Halloween.
Halloween 2018. We just came home from the theater a few hours ago,
Mm-hmm.
so it's good. It's worth it. It's worth the full price.
Yep.
Yeah, and here's Ash again,
Even
Yeah.
even Ash agreed.
getting all the screen time.
It's Ash approved.
Ash approved.
Yeah.
Halloween 2018, Ash approved.
Yeah.
So we're the Dudes of Horror. I'm Damien.
Worm Boy.
And Toots.
We'll see you guys next time. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and leave us a comment.